Good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel. And tonight we do bring you the program called My Point of View right here. And to host it, my name is Chaza right here. I'll be joined by a couple of people that are there to add their voices or to react to the stories that we shall give to you. And I'm so excited because tonight we do have, a couple of stories that are so exciting right here. And, this program is designed that we get to give you headlines and stories of the week. Right now, I've been joined by Mr. Mkelebai and CJ Chibonta Jule there. CJ, good evening and welcome to the program. Let me get to welcome Mr. Mkelebai. Mr. Mkelebai, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza. Good evening, viewers, and thank you to be back.
It's definitely great to have you here. I don't know, CJ probably is having some problem there. I don't know if he's getting me, but we shall proceed, hoping that he does get to join us later on the program, and still expecting one or two people that will probably join us along the way. Definitely, it's exciting to be here, and not forgetting those of you that are following on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. It's definitely a good evening to you, and depending on where you are getting us from, probably others it's good afternoon, good morning, and so on and so forth. We're excited to actually have you here getting to follow the program. Let's take a look at the first story, and we see you on the other side.
President Hakainde Hichilema and First Lady Muthinta Hichilema are in Beijing, China, for a state visit at the invitation of Chinese. President Hakainde Hichilema and First Lady Muthinta Hichilema are in Beijing, China, for a state visit at the invitation of Chinese President Xi Jinping. After arriving in the city, President Hichilema laid a wreath at the Tiananmen Square to mark his official visit to China. Later, President Hichilema then proceeded to China Railway Construction Company, which has conducted over 50 projects in Zambia worth $500 million United States dollars, which includes the Tanzania-Zambia railways. The president called on the company to consider revamping the infrastructure.
We would like a complete rehab of Tazara, revival of Tazara, the line, the integrity of the line itself, which we appreciate having been constructed in the 70s, has seen its time. So it needs rehabilitation. And it needs, for example, the speed to be improved so we can move our goods and people much quicker. So it's good that we are here. We have spoken to the government of Tanzania. Now we'll be speaking to the government of China. We, the Zambian government, are keen to get this done. My Minister of Transport is here, Chairman, and we would like to make sure that he does spend time with some of your key officials as we create a framework amongst the three countries, China, Tanzania, Zambia.
President Hichilema also spelled out other projects that the company can venture into.
Lusaka, Livingstone, and Kazungula Bridge highway. That will allow us to run a highway system with attendant benefits in terms of speed, efficiencies, obviously in the movement of goods, in the movement of people, from the Copper Belt into the Midlands where Lusaka is. If you've been to Zambia before, you would understand the geography I'm talking about. And then on to the southern borders of our countries, which takes us into basically Botswana, Namibia, and Zimbabwe.
Company chairman pledged to support Zambia's infrastructure.
We'll also ask our subsidiaries, especially CCECC, to follow through on the requirements you have made in your important speech related to ZARA, so that we can jointly contribute to China-Zambia friendship and also the local growth of Zambia.
And Transport and Logistics Minister Frank Tayali said the Tripartite Council has set the first quarter of 2024 for the revamping of TAZARA.
We should have made serious advancements in order for us to have a concessionaire to run TAZARA on a commercial basis. And that concessionaire will obviously be a Chinese company that will be expected to bring in not only their expertise, but also, locomotives as well as wagons.
Mwilan Sofu, ZNBC News, Beijing, China.
Right, that was the president's visit to China, and one of those significant issues they looked at, something to do with, the railway system. Mr. Mkeleba, your reaction to this story?
Well, thank you so much, Chaza, and that's a wonderful program that the president has embarked on, and this is he is actually trying to prove people that we're trying to be in a rush. Our opposition, if you remember very well, during his trips to United States and Europe, where he would go and discuss the matters to do with the debt restructuring, we heard a lot of opposition. They were trying to negate him, and they were busy insinuating that we are creating enmity or China has already been forsaken. We are running away from China. We are abandoning China because we are into this government is a darling to the West, not the East. Unfortunately, what is happening today, it's kind of different. And that's what we always tell. I don't know, they're even quiet. They're not coming out to speak the way they were speaking. They want to come up with other narrative. This is where Zambians should be very careful with what these politicians talk about or say when they are on their so-called social media and announcing or accusing government of issues that are unsubstantiated. So it is important that now the government has been invited, because this is what we were telling the opposition, or this is what the government in power today were telling the opposition, that you cannot impose invitations onto presidential people to come to China. China could not just allow African countries to come to visit them without any invitation. This time around, the president has been waiting, and he finally went at the invitation, at the prerogative of the Chinese president. And he is now there on an official visit, and he has been given the official welcome. And we see all these parades, we see what he has done, and he has not just gone to walk on the parade, but he went deep into China, where he's been to all places, inspecting or discussing with future prospective investors that may come to Zambia and invest. As you know, that China is one of our important partner in terms of development. And it was good to hear that the president is even mentioning the Tazara railway line, which is very, very important. That railway line is a very important to Zambia, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and all these other countries in the southern region. And the president mentioned that thing. We need to bring development. Otherwise, we can only we can only connect these countries by bringing in investors that have the technical and that have the capacity to come and revamp the railway line. We are looking forward to a day when we are going to have a speed train, a fast speed train like those ones in China, from Tanzania all the way to either Botswana or Zimbabwe. We are looking forward to that because time is ticking. We want to see development, and our president I believe, is also talking about the issues to do with the debt restructuring, how the Chinas could even try to forgive us, or rather give us a break, not a choking that we have to return their money. We are not asking the Chinese to forgive the debts that our brothers, the PF, borrowed carelessly and parted with, but we are asking Chinese government also to give us at least a breathing space so we could mitigate some of the pressing challenges that are in Zambia. And we are very positive that this government is really doing the right thing at the right time and with the right people. We need all these international big countries such as China, America, France. We need them in one way or the other. We cannot get involved into their wars or into their conflicts, but as our interest is something else that we want them to come and help us in terms of developing, not for free, but at a cost. It's it's a win-win situation. So we have to encourage this friendship to continue, that the Asian, the East, the West are coming to Zambia to give us some kind of assistance in terms of development and aid. That's what I can say for now.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mukelewa. We do appreciate, and I think this has been a challenge, especially when it comes to politicians that are so much interested in making money because they have tracking businesses. So if really this is the intention and it materializes, then I think it will help the citizens, in terms of movement and so on and so forth, and it will definitely even get to save the lifespan of the roads. Let's get to hear what CJ has got to say, if now he is with us. CJ. Good evening and welcome to the program. It appears he's having a challenge there. We can barely hear what he's saying. We hope you'll be able to join us along the way. At this point in time, let's take a look at the next item that we do have. Then on the other side, we get to see you and hear what you hold in terms of opinions as regards what we have.
Excited because Konkola Copper Mines is destined for greatness again. These are Chilawombe residents and youths during a KCM Solidarity March in the border town. And government has assured the people on the copper belt that it won't let Vedanta take advantage of the Zambian people again.
If one that were corrupt within 1 month in that were Vedanto. No mbecho twa koko ele kuikala na watu walanda apauka chitefi pali abwela isala neyo ifite nchite ifatrefu apauka chitefi
Vendetta ni shikwali president mwana wasero baishirefi bali bomba kwa fya mano chikonka kateka ngali temwa abantu techale ka investor ambyo kulatumpa.
The youths cannot thank government enough for the new development at KCM, which will improve the economy of the copper belt.
$20 million CSR. Elonama salary increment. The evidence here kwebati. This is one of the best mining deals ever negotiated in the history of our nation.
And unions are optimistic about the future of KCM.
Tuwale umfanga batera update ba minister tuwale furo pande twashime kwa tfyara chitika pati ifo fo bali mu system tuwalishwa no kukwate chitekero ko bati ubuteko bweso yabwakafirwe kuma problems yale tushupa muno charo chesu cha Zambia.
Chilawombe mayor also expressed happiness.
Twale ilishanyo ko bati ushacha chinefika chitikevi nangula balela ndafye apa nomba bakateka n'abatulanga ba echechi bale umfwa ukuyirishanya kwezi.
Vedanta seems to be getting popular on the copper belt after their comeback. But the prayer of many people here is that they reformed, Vedanta won't disappoint them again.
Bravo! Congratulations, buddy! Congratulations!
TV Right, Zeka, ZNBC News, Chilawombe.
Okay.
There we have it. Very interesting story there, and reactions as regards, the reopening or actually the handing over of the mine back to Vedanta. CJ, are you here now? It appears, he's still struggling. I'll throw it, to you, Mr. Mkeleba. Your reaction, regarding the clip we are from, taking a look at.
Thank you so much, Chaza, once more. I am one of the people that has been very positive in supporting this current government because they are of sober mind. They are not making decisions out of drunkenness that they go party. They are very sober, and they make decisions after having a discussion, or rather thorough investigations, and come up with their conclusion, and have done a lot of research or consultation. We hope that this is the final stage, that we don't want to fall into the same ditch. They say, fool me once, shame on you, and fool me twice, shame on me. So it is important that the government is not going to take advantage, or rather this investor is not going to take advantage of the kindness that this government that had vowed, by the way, this government had vowed never to bring that investor that we are talking about today back ever, because of the manner in which that investor treated its employees, and they came up with a lot of lies after lies, even when they were making colossal sum of money profits, and then they go and submit lies to the nation to say they suffered great loss. You see, we say old habits die hard. So we have no clue what conditions these guys have signed. We are not privy to that information, but as a country, we are entitled, as citizens, we are entitled to know what are the contractual obligations that have been discussed with this miner that had defaulted or that caused a lot of mayhem. Yes, we understand that the government was facing more like a double sword, that this investor was also suing the state. The matter was in court because of the manner in which they were shown the exit way. At the same time, we were also suffering as a country, that our people were unemployed, they lost their jobs, and there was nothing that was taking place. The mines were just getting filled up with water because there was no productions. And yet we know that this Zambian economy thrives or lives well as a result of minings, of copper minings. And then we go and start trouble in the mining sector. This company has been out of operation, or the mines have been out of operations since, I believe, 2018 or 2017, somewhere there. So it's a huge gap. What has happened in between? We have lost a lot of revenues, and there were cases. So I am seeing a situation where this government had no choice, and they could not find someone suitable that knew the old way of doing things, apart from going back to the very people that had made up some mistakes in the first place, and discuss to them and give them some kind of stipulations that if you cross these boundaries, we are done. And also, they were looking at the issue. They were looking at the issue of handling this matter outside court settlement, instead of having gone through the court system, where the country already, we are struggling with the debt restructuring, a mountain of debt. On top of that, vendetta was supposed to be paid a lot of billions, hundreds of billions dollars to this from the government of Zambia, or from the people of Zambia to the company. So I believe they made a very good deal. Hopefully that this time it will stand a test of time, and that there will be closed follow-ups from both sides. If we, the government, have the upper hand to navigate the right way of running the mines, instead of allowing foreigners to take advantage and manipulate and break our local laws, so that they can get away with murder, or rather with profits, huge sum of profits on our nose. No, we want this government to keep an eye. So that's what I can say for now. We want our copper belt to be back, our people to be given good jobs and good pay, and all these social recreation programs to be back, where the football, the sports, all those requirements that are needed by the mining investors in that area should be revamped and come to life. With those few remarks, I would simply say we are watching. We are going to stay. I'm not going to praise them this time. I'm just going to say we are watching closely. Otherwise, it's better the mines are running than just sitting idle without any production. So for me, for now, it's okay. We can just give them a thumbs up and see where we are going. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mkilabai. We do appreciate. And I have a comment coming from Edith Nina Daka saying, great show, keep it up. Edith, thank you so much. We do appreciate, and it's good to know that you are there following. And I think Himba Malambo is right here with us this time around. Himba, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza. Good evening, viewers. Thank you so much, Chaza.
Beautiful, it's good to have you. And straight on, I'll invite you to make your reaction known as regards this item we are from viewing.
Chaza, can I be reserved as a substitute for the next story, please?
Yeah, sure. Not a problem. CJ, are you there with us now? Looks like CJ is still having a problem. Without much ado, let's take a look at the next story. And on the other side, we'll be joined by, Himba to make known her reaction. And Mr. Mkileba is still here with us. And those of you that would like to join us, you can actually get to click on the link that we have shared right in the comment section, or you can actually get to drop us, a message to make us know that you are there following the program. Remember, this is Ubuntu Channel's My Point of View. Let's take a look at the next item, then we see you on the other side.
Despite government pronouncement of enrolling 3,000 more health workers this year, the sector still have a deficit of 80,000. Health Professional Council of Zambia Chief Executive Officer Professor Faston Goma described the deficit as a major challenge and has asked government to continue intervening.
What is expected in all the facilities, starting from Chongwe Hospital itself, the district hospital, seriously understaffed, and then all the 41 institutions seriously understaffed. And we came up with a way in which we could now calculate the deficit, and we must report that for Chongwe alone, we are saying that the district is short of 688 health workers. Now we are counting health workers here in the proper definition of the count, meaning we are talking of qualified human resource, not drivers and cleaners and other people who work in hospitals, not those ones. We are really talking of qualified health workers. Now you can see we need to really try and get up to this 80,000 in the next 1 year, okay? Given an opportunity to fill these positions in the next year, we would be very glad. But that would mean we take 80,000 onto the health sector now.
Meanwhile, Professor Faston Goma has also announced that all is set for the second professional licensure examination to commence on Monday, 18th September to 6th October 2023 in Ndola, Livingstone, and Lusaka.
Which were received. Out of these, 3,529 were successfully registered to sit for the examination, while 12 applicants were unsuccessful due to several reasons. The reasons for failure to enter the examination included failure to meet the 12 entry criteria.
Over 3,000 health practitioners from different local and foreign training institutions will sit for the legs. Edith Winga reporting in Lusaka.
Health workers deficit there, in the country, and what could be the solution? Maybe Himba, I will invite you first, to react to this story.
Thank you so much, Chaza. Honestly speaking, I don't have much to say. All I would love to say is thank you so much to the government and to the intervention which the government is doing. The challenge of health workers in all the health facilities, it is quite big. And the percentage of health workers, because if you're talking about health workers, we're not only talking nurses and doctors. There are a lot of professions we are looking for under health department. But all I would say, this is a gradually thing, and it's one step at a time. And as long as the government is responding, we are so grateful. And we are so grateful with what the government is doing. Hope this will be a continuity program that is going to continue to make sure that the poor every Zambian is able to access health facilities and health services. Thank you so much, Chaza.
Thank you so much, Himba. We do appreciate it. Mr. Mkilebai, what's your take on this?
I think our society and the youths, this is where they are supposed to pull up their socks in terms of the qualifications for those, or the requirements for those that are supposed to enroll and be health workers. We have noticed, I've noticed that many youths today, they want it easy. They want to take it so easy that they would rather do other activities instead of enrolling themselves into these professional careers. And of course, I know the challenges, the grade 12. Most of the youths, they lack the entrance qualifications, and that you find that now there's a lot of youths that have not acquired those full certificates, grade 12 certificates. They're having challenges to enroll themselves into these institutions. Because of that, hence you find them doing other activities like business or other things that are not helping them, and that is making the unemployment situation even worse. We need qualified people, of course. And also, my message will be to the institutions that are enrolling these professionals, that they should go easy on. Of course, you cannot just allow everyone to come in, even though they performed so bad. But I think they have to go easy onto the issue to do with the markings, where they're failing. So many of them, you can tell when someone is not ready to work or to write or to do anything, and you can tell the examiners, the criteria that you use. I'm not telling you to fail, to pass people that have not done the job, but you just have to maybe go easy. Yeah, we have seen it in the legal profession or legal fraternity, where at Ziali, many lawyers that have done so well, but because they have noticed that there's too much influx of lawyers, they would rather fail everyone. And you find it's just more like a syndicate that is going on until when there's more demand of lawyers. Then you find that the following year there's an influx of so many lawyers that are graduating that have passed, and some years you find only one student or two students. So we know that it's the examiner's issue, and that needs to really also look into the plight of our country. We need professionals, yes. We need many people. People are being discouraged because probably you've raised the bars so high that no one, average Zambians, they are failing to reach that. So you have to think about it. Otherwise, we need more health workers. You are right. The government is really constrained. I hope they have the capacity and the budget to look after these people. We need money to run the Ministry of Health. There are so many ministries that demands the population of youths. And Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, you are on record. You came into power because of the very youths. Create employment for them. 80,000 of health workers that are required. You can always get them from those very youths that voted for you. Of course, you need them that are qualified. Get them. They are there. All they need is just your political will. and they shall. And of course, the money. We need money. We know the country is struggling right now. That's why they've been failing to pay all these CDFs in full, because there is no much money to run around the country. We are a population of many, and nothing is coming in, but there's a lot that is going out. So we need to start producing or to bring more investors into the country so we can attract more dollars, more monies into our budget, into our coffers, so that the government can employ all those 80 workers that are required. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mkelebai and Himba. I think at this point in time, it looks like our colleague is having a serious challenge, and he has, fallen out. That's CJ. Let's proceed and take a look at the next item, and we get to see you on the other side.
Maize production is critical to food security, especially in Zambia. But what hampers the production are diseases that result in low yields. 3 students from Copperbelt University have developed a smart plant disease detector as a solution. Emmanuel Mulenga explains some of the diseases that the application detects.
This application is detecting diseases in plants, such as common leaf, blight, and some other diseases. We actually measured in four diseases, which is common leaf and blightness and grey leaf spot. You get the camera, you get the application, you capture it, and it will diagnose and give everything that the plant is suffering from.
The students are thinking of expanding this idea, especially to farmers that cultivate larger hectares.
So when you feed it into that the model, the app, you give it that image, it diagnoses and then tells you which one it is, and also gives you a treatment option for future purposes. Yeah, we planned on expanding in terms of using drones to capture large amounts of, like, for example, a hectare of land and stuff like that.
Martin Simfukwe says the students will partner with seed companies in order to enhance the commercial value of the application.
We want to partner with other pesticides companies that can be providing all the necessary farming inputs, and so that we can help our farmers. So our farmers, what they need to do is to detect, use our app and detect if there's any disease. They call us, and our team will always be there to offer our services.
Such technology can help the agriculture sector in maize production. Obinato Saili, ZNBC News, Kitwe.
There we have it, an interesting story, regarding technological advancements. If, using technology.
Good evening, Mkelebai. Please go ahead with your comment.
Thank you so much, Himba. Well, there's nothing much to say, but the only thing I can ask for those students with their innovative project is a study case. Have they tried that up themselves? Is it working? Can they have they yield more results? Have they seen what are the what are the dangers, what are the challenges that they've had. Otherwise, it sounds so, by word of mouth, it sounds very interesting and very catchy, but we know that we want to see a innovation, and this is what we talk about when we talk of the youths coming up with good ideas to prevent some of these diseases. We would love to see that application put to good use so that our farmers could actually benefit more, and so that we could have more crops to grow, especially maize, so that, you know, issue ya vunga ama challenges kwata ya kapwe. So we want to see those results, that those leaves, whatever diseases detecting, that app that will be detecting the diseases and then give alternatives or diagnoses. That sounds very modern and very advanced, but we should not underestimate the power of the brain. So the young men on the Copper Belt, they're doing well. We should just support them and see how that application will go. That's how we develop. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope I am, back in. I really don't know what happened. Looks like connectivity has been a challenge. Himba, thank you so much for covering me up. And, considering that you covered me up, it looks like she's the one now who has been kicked out. That being the case, let's take a look at the next story. Looks like, the director is also having a challenge there. Mr. Mkelebai.
Yes, I don't know what's happening today, you guys. We just have to continue and with what is currently taking place. Just hope that the director has control over this. Otherwise, let's just cross our fingers and hope that everything gets better.
Yeah, sometimes technology, gets to run us overboard and gets to be out of control. But we hope that the challenges that we are facing will be able to navigate around them and see our program, to the end. Himba, you were also kicked out, by the connectivity. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, it's really, I don't know why, maybe it's the network, is it? We are being kicked out.
Yeah, indeed, this is the network. I think one of our colleagues, CJ, has had a serious challenge, and now, as we can see, the director is also having a challenge, to take us to the next level of the program. That being the case, maybe as we are waiting, we can probably get to find out, especially you, Himba, who joined us a little later. Has been your week?
Not bad, Chaza, not bad. A lot has happened, especially in the political arena. We are seeing a lot of drama. We've got a lot to learn. Kupunzira constitution, yama political arena, we are just being confused. A lot has happened in our country, and I only hope these things will be settled as soon as possible. But otherwise, we thank God all has been well.
Great. And, one of the stories that you missed was a story that was about, the president's visit to China. And one of the issues they discussed was, to revamp, the railway system. And I wish you could, add your voice to that particular story because, for me, I'm very excited and looking forward to having, that materialize.
Basically, Chaza, a lot has happened, especially in the political arena, and I would rather say we are so happy whatever the president is doing at the moment. But the only challenge the only thing I'm a bit worried, hope these investors who are coming to our country, who are coming to support us, they are going to live by their word, and they are going to make sure that the agreement has been delivered as agreed. But otherwise, we are so happy, and it's a good step for our country. Although on the sad side, it's like we are our enemy. We are our enemies to our own country. We are fighting the progress. I was literally shocked when the senior political leaders from the opposition parties are writing, the president was not welcomed. He was not given a guard of honor. The president, is that what we want? Is it necessary? When they're supposed to be actually supporting and providing alternatives, or to even encourage or to work hand in hand with the government, the current government, so that at the end of the day we may see great progress in our country. It's so sad what is happening in our political arena. It's like we don't have politicians who've got the heart for our country. They've decided to be enemies to our country, and it looks like if you're in the opposition, you have to be an enemy to development in the country. It's really sad, and I hope the mindset of people is going to change, especially these political leaders. Otherwise, the issue of the rail line, we are dancing, we are happy, and it's a very exciting news for me specifically as a Zambian. I'm looking forward to better things.
Great, thank you so much, Himba. We do appreciate. And at this point in time, I am under the impression that we are good to go and take a look at, the next story. Director, kindly take us there if you can.
From above the sky, it appears all is well in Mumbwa district, but this is not the reality on the ground. An entire office block belonging to the veterinary department has been reduced to rubble, with vaccines worth thousands of kwacha destroyed by an angry mob which was incensed with the suspected ritual killings that occurred last week in Mumbwa. The district commissioner's office was not spared, as windows were shattered by the angry residents, while several vehicles and a lodge were also destroyed. Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbu, who was in the company of Inspector General of Police, rushed to Mumbwa to get first-hand information on the prevailing situation in the district. The minister was not happy following the destruction of government and private property. He has since appealed the people of Mumbwa not to vent their anger on government property.
No matter how angry you are, no matter how aggrieved you are, don't vent your anger on public infrastructure.
The minister was informed that essential vaccines, which were meant for vaccinating animals in the district, were destroyed during the inferno that reduced the veterinary department to a shell.
So this used to be our lab. We had 3 fridges in here and workstations around.
Everything was destroyed.
Everything.
Meanwhile, Mr. Mwimbu used his visit to Mumbwa to appeal to the residents to work closely with the police by providing any information concerning the people behind the alleged ritual killings.
I also want to appeal to members of the public that if they have any information that can assist the police in resolving the alleged ritual killings and other matters that have taken place in the district, may they come forward in confidence and provide that information.
2 arrests have been made by police in connection to the ritual killings, while 29 residents have been arrested for riotous behavior. Security has since been beefed up in the district in a bid to restore order and sanity. For Zanis, I'm Lakson Makodza.
There we are. Very unfortunate, circumstances, things that have been happening right there in Mumbwa. And we do not expect such things, to be happening, things that bring about destruction of property. Let me invite Mr. Mkelewai to come first.
Thank you so much, Chaza. It is quite a sad development to note that people in a Christian nation they would even choose to go that road. You are busy telling people that you are suspecting ritual murders. There are people that have been murdered that you have found out, and then you make assumptions and you are not happy. You want to be on the right side of the law. You want to be on the right side of your moral code. Then you go out to kill other people. What does that make you? What is the difference between you who has gone to kill and to kill the other person that you have no aware, just heard hearsay? Because all this ritual killing, that, all these are just innuendos or rumors, and that are just driven by these so-called people who are not up there properly, who are just dwelling on imity, When you see your friends doing well in society, you already assume or presume you want them to be as poor as you, but you make assumptions that the reason why this gentleman is rich is because he's doing ritual killing, he's busy killing people. That is just, it's a primitive way of thinking. Now, here is the situation. You are trying to be the right person, standing in front of of your fellow friends to say vatipaira vantu kuli maricho killings kuno. Then chamene mwachita ni kuchisa bwanji mwanyamuka. You have not asked this person who you think has killed, mwanyamuka chabe mwaenda, because your heart, because your mind thinks that person is guilty of ritual killing, mwaenda mwamuntenga no mushoka. Now look at the punishment that these people were making. They were worse than the very person who is killing, who killed. Then these are the people now who are the ritual murderers. Our many benzo shoka muntu daylight. Just because what happens if that person is innocent, that you burnt? Mwapayache muntu wamene simwenzo zivati was not even involved in anything. Just because he was successful in business does not make him a witch, does not make him a wizard. But because of nzeru, mamanas, that's why kuli malamulo masiko yano, kuli malamulo nyamukani ngati uchita suspect muntu apaya muntu. Lamulo la mu Zambia likamba kuti munyamuka mwenda ku polisi mupereka dandaulo yanu kuja, ngati bakapokola sibasevenzerapo, you can appeal to the relevant authority, the highest people in that province, unlike what you did mwe bakumumbwa. Excuse me, mwaendo paya vantu vamene simuziva simuna bafake na pa trial just because mumitu mwanu muganiza ati bachita ma ritual killings. Ritual killings, vama ritual kisi visevenza olokuti nakuti. All this is just people coming up with assumption. These days you need to work hard. You just need to work your ways. If vamene mukamba wa mfwiti va uchani extra business, you are just failures who are failing to do your own jobs, to work and make money honestly. You ought to have asked those people that you killed, how did you get rich? How did you get where you are? Instead of going to burn them. What happens if those people never even killed a mosquito in their lifetime? What are you going to do? Can you bring their lives back? You can't. You have become more murderers than the very people that killed. If anything, the real murderers probably were even within you, among yourselves, that went to kill. So if you are arrested for riotous behavior, for what you did, then you should not complain. You should not even pray to God because you deserve it. You are not supposed to create a problem by solving a problem by creating another problem. You've just created your problem on your own. Now you have to face the law. The death of those people that you were killing as a mob, as a group, is now going to be upon you. So you are also going to be called a murderer. Chimozimozi n'abajabanze opaya abantu during gassing. Mwagwira che muntu muchita suspect muntu ati achita gassing. Munapaya abantu bambiri bali innocent. But you guys, I promise you, imwe munagwiriwa, you will be taken to task. You cannot take the law into your own hands. Now, there are a lot of damages that you created. Now what? You are a poor province or you are a poor community. On top of that, you go and burn the simple little structures that you have to show your anger. It means that it meant nothing because you are also criminals that killed other people. Because you have not solved the problem. They have not solved, the Mumbwa people have not solved any problem. They've just created more problems and more trouble to themselves. Even now, nangombe zao manje mwashoka library, bashoka chani, ma building ya boma, ba boma ndiye banapaya muntu. Why mwenzo shoka ma buildings? Unfortunately, apa muziona tumwachenjera, apa muziona tumwamuchenjesa oja muntu omene munapaya, obaja bantu omene munapaya mwachenjesa. But manje, the conscious, it is you. It will be on your conscious. You will never sleep. You will never see your sleep. You shall forever be guilty in your heart. No matter, and that's the worst prison that you can be in. In your mind, you've arrested yourselves. So the Mumbwa people, those that were involved in riotous behavior, you have just put yourselves in prison, your mind prison. Bajambantu mene munashoka baja daylight in a Christian, and yet muipta na mulungu atimwe bantu ba mulungu. Mwazipasa mweka, mwazifaka mweka mu prison and isumuzaka chokamo because those images will haunt you for the rest of your natural lives because you are also heading in that direction. You're gonna die one day. But those people you killed, even though they were guilty, were they supposed to undergo such a punishment? Or even though they are not guilty, because you don't know, you are not God, and you are not the judges, you are not the lawyers, you are not prosecutors, but you took the law into your own hands by killing innocent souls. That, I call them innocent because you have no evidence that they are the ones that killed. You are believing in supernatural. Supernatural, you can't kill somebody basing on your feeling or your supernatural. That's wrong. Because now if we want to come and kill, should we come and kill you because Timbera kuipa? No. We want the law to take its own course. So the properties that you destroyed, you have to pay back. You have to pay. And the people that you killed, you have to pay for their prices. You murdered people. At least them Ngatibanapaya, they killed people in the dark. But you killed somebody during daylight where everyone, nama videos bantu balinayo, bakulangizani, nama picture, nama faces yan, nama comments. We know who you are. So you'll be caught one by one until all of you are surrounded. You are wounded up. And now we'll start asking each and every person question. Lelo, you are praying to God. Yesterday, mwenzo shoka muntu. Are you Christians? Are you really Christians? Lelo, because wakapokola wakumangani. So, let me stop here and give people time because I am not happy with the manner in which Bamumbwa behaved. That riot, that was terrible. That was wrong. You cannot solve a problem by creating another problem. If you think that's the way to solve problems, then you are in a wrong country, and the law will always visit you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mukelebai. CJ, are you here now?
Hi, Chaza. Are you able to hear me this time around?
Yes, indeed. We can get you. And once more, good evening and welcome to the program after a long struggle.
Thank you very much, Chaza. Thank you, viewers. May I apologize for my bad connectivity. I'm also in a noisy place, but I hope you're able to get me loud and clear.
Yes, indeed. We can get you and you can proceed to react to the story that we are looking at.
Okay, yeah. So that's a very sad story indeed. What transpired was very, very regrettable. Now, you see, these issues of ritual killings and the like, we are in Zambia, and we have a strong belief system that, you know, really believes in these things. And to some degree, these things, they do exist. Now, the reaction of the people in Mumbwa was something else. For me, I say, for them to resort to burning down the government buildings and, you know, that was out of the way. Criminality got into what they were doing. Okay, it's like I would say, okay, this suspicion of that man being involved in serial killing, in rituals. Let me say in rituals. It's like a thing that had been going on over and over, and it kept on building up in people. And actually, if you remember, the girls that were abducted, the brother is one of the abductors there. Okay, so and on that, if you follow the way that story happened, it's like they found those bodies. There's a day they found a body, and then it should be a following day or a day after that there was another person who was being killed. So that's when a kid called people to say, we're seeing someone is being killed there. That's how people went there, rescued that person, apprehended the ones that were trying to kill that one, and went to the police. When they went to the police again, when they got to the police, they told the police to release the other people that were also involved, okay, that had been arrested in connection with the previous body that they had found. Now, it's rumor has it that during that confusion, there are some people that said that the businessman was involved, ABCD, and that's how now people also now moved, now started going that side, going to burn the truck, going into the lodge, and you know, everything went as it went, where the businessman and his friend were killed, were burnt, and all that. Now, I also feel the police delayed in moving in. They really delayed, because on the first day when things happened, it spilled over into the following day. Immediately, the police saw that they were overwhelmed at the police station. They could have called for reinforcement so that the situation is brought under control. But it's like proper reinforcement only came, I don't know if it was late in the second day, and the situation had already gotten out of hand. So it's a very sad thing. I think our security wings also need to up their game somehow, and there's a lot of sensitization that needs to be done among people, so that this mindset of mob justice is kind of neutralized, because that way of getting down to things doesn't really serve justice in itself. Okay, and a lot of innocent people get injured. A lot of innocent lives also get affected and are lost in such kind of moves. So there's really need for community sensitization and a mindset change so that people are able to handle whatever situations that come in a proper and civil way without resorting to violence, burning down property or injuring other people in that way. Let me end here. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much, CJ. There, I think we can't put it better as you have done together with Mr. Mkelebai. Let's take a view of the next item and see what we have there. Tapiaza, we are still, struggling, to move on to the next item. Today, we've actually, struggled in terms of, connectivity and the technical aspect. Probably as
And when you look at Dr. Fred Mende, he's one of those who has been an icon on the Zambian political scenario. No one can talk about democracy without mentioning Dr. Fred Mende. He has that record. Where is the record of Comrade Winter Kavimba? Winter is just bitter because socialist is growing day in, day out. That's the reason he's so bitter. He was part of, in the Rainbow Party, where Dr. Fred Mende and Dr. Msomari were part of. They separated from him because lack of leadership qualities, lack of leadership skills. Now, a person who is eager to form the leadership of this nation should have morality. The reason his colleagues, his fellow comrades defected, left him, and they are doing so fine on the political platform. Those are elements of jealousy. Therefore, backing from outside, let Mr. Winter come back. If we can say his family members cannot vote for him, they are part of the socialists who have come to join the socialists. Now, where is he basing his argument? If his family members cannot vote for him, cannot trust him, then they decide to join the Socialist Party. Where is the credibility of him forming the government in the 2026? So I can urge him that to leave the socialists alone. It's a growing party. I am a principled person. I am a pastor, a principled person. I came here on principle to join the force that is here to speak for the Zambian people. Now, when we talk about morality, we are a party which trusts itself in speaking for the vulnerable people in society. Is that not morality? So he wants us to keep quiet and not talk about the issues that concern our people. So it is a misplaced statement. Let him grow in politics and learn to understand where he's taking his party and why Zambians should trust in him.
There we have it, political, issues there. Mr. Mkelebai, your reaction?
Thank you, Chaza. We've been telling you, Zambian people, to say these oppositions, the current opposition that we have, are jokers, and including the very person that was talking. He knows very well that Socialist Party is Socialist Party on paper, and they're trying to be so democratic. I heard him talking about Mr. Membe being democratic. I don't think Membe wants to be democratic. Membe wants to bring communism in the country. If you hear his statement, or if you hear Fred Membe's preamble in every setup that he talks about, this is the man that is really championing communism dictators or supporting dictators, supporting the so-called old freedom fighters. Yes, we have respect for the freedom fighters. But today, if us, the young ones, today, if we were also at the time, there was a time of trying to liberate our countries, and we happened to be there, we were still going to be also called freedom fighters. So these even presidents of Uganda, the Musevenis, these who have been in power for so many years, the NCC in South Africa and the ZANU-PF in Zimbabwe, these are his darlings. These are the people that we know they have a history, rich history of being the freedom fighters. But today, we don't need freedom fighters. Today, we want people that would come and champion the democracy that we have been talking about, that was introduced to us by, of course, the Americans are the big champions of democracy. We can go for it. And it has worked. Today, we are talking about 7th presidents in our country. Why not? It's working to our advantage. We like it this way, and we know Bomembe. He wants to be president, but we know his intentions. We know what he's been doing. He's known for playing dirty politics, especially in the media aspect, where he would come and play on the people of mind with his propaganda. As for the other gentleman he was talking about, the Kavinde, what's his name again? Kavimbe. Those ones are politicians that have, it's just the name and their profession. They are surviving using their professional. The good thing is they had some brains of they had an opportunity to go to school. Baliko Nanzeru, they go and studied law and came back and had a law firm. And if it wasn't for those to my business na school ya mele wanaendako, vajanga lelo niva Kavimbe was going to Kawimbe? He was going to be maybe helping Musialeka to collect those monies around the streets too as well. But we just need to forgive these guys. We just have to understand. They just need to go back on the drawing board and see how they can come back with their political, the way to the approach to this politics, because they've lost it. We Zambians, we've lost the politics, especially when we're in the opposition. We have introduced the politics of hate, the politics of attacking one another, instead of discussing real issues, serious issues. If Fred Membe is supporting homosexuals, the only thing that, what's his name again? Kawimbe, whatever his name is, the best thing, Kavimba, the best thing he could have asked him, ask him the reasons to why, and how is he going to bring such support into a community that is a Christian background, value, whatever it values. How are you going to make, fuse in this issue to do with gayism? We are a human right, a country that is affiliated to other organs. You talk about those issues, you challenge them, you challenge your colleagues with the real issues, not demeaning them. Just because Fred Membe stands to protect human rights, all kind of human rights, including the LGBTQ, whatever you call them. If that's his policy and that's what he wants to stand on, then so be it. Who are you to challenge him? You cannot go and start demeaning him. If you want, come up with real issues that are going to show that you stand for a different and give reasons to why. You cannot just say statements like that just because you hate your friends because they did not vote for you or they left you. That's been childish. Our oppositions, they are behaving so childishly. They are not serious, and we shall never take them serious. Whenever there's an issue, they always take issues in a different direction where it becomes either tribal, it becomes either a political and a character assassinating one another. We don't want that. We want people that will come with real issues, well-based issue. Let's talk about it. Let's debate. Let's engage each other. And here there are the reasons to why the other person is supporting that motion. Unlike pointing finger, and you are even laughing when somebody is failing or is facing some other challenges in their part. We laugh instead of finding out how can we help and what suggestions do you have. We don't have that. We are where we are. Our politicians, they are the ones that these positions, they are worse than the Mumbwa people. They are also behaving just the same. It's a premature mind. I mean, a primitive way of thinking. You still think in superstitions when, oh, come on, when you know the facts. So that's the winter, Kavimbe. He's just been, I think, on the other hand, the gentleman was right. That winter is just jealous. He's hurting because the Socialist Party is growing in number. He has his own tactics. Yes, he has his own way.
Mr. Mkelebai, your connection has become 40. We can barely get you.
All right. Anyway, that's what I can say for now about the last video. Our oppositions, they are mediocres. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mkelebai. We do appreciate, and at this point in time, would like to thank you for your great input there. Not forgetting the people that are out there following the program, and our colleagues have not stayed due to connectivity challenges. That's Himba and CJ. As for now, we are saying our goodbyes. It's been a great time right here, just like any other Saturday evening. My name is Chaza right here on My Point of View on Ubuntu channel. Till next time, we are saying thank you so much for following. God bless you all.